Guys and girls, Hot Rod Rodney 25 back for another update. First of all, I want to give a shout out to BNSF 6951, Vinny, and Sparky 107 and thank them for Wednesday and Friday night live chats and live shows that they've both been doing. They've been bringing me in a lot of subscribers. I'm up to like 74, 75 subscribers, I do believe it is now. It might be more than that. I haven't looked for a while. But here we go. We're here for another update. I just wanted to give a shout out to those two guys, Vinny and of course Sparky. Again, thank you for getting me subscribers by your live shows. Okay, on to the update, guys. This layout level number, I think it's like level 2. This is going to be named Prestonburg. And the reason behind naming it Prestonburg is my friend Preston, who died several years back. I used to work with him, and my mom used to work with him. My dad and all of us was real good friends with him. We did stuff for one another. Me and him hung out. He helped me through when I was racing and so forth. And he was an all out nice guy. And since he's no longer with us, he won't, of course, see this layout being built. So I thought I would do a nice thing and name parts of the layout in different levels by family members or after family members, you might say. And Preston was like a family member. He was like a brother that I never had. But on to this update. This I finished up last night, actually. And of course I still have wiring to do for my switches, because they'll be switchable, but the yard will be hand switched out operations. So I will take the cars out once in a while and change them and exchange them out to give a different look. I will not run I might be able to run an engine in so far, but then hook up the cars to the engine and back them out. I might be able to do it that way, but I will not run an engine in on this dirt and food spices. That is what all this is, to give it different colors. It's food spice and some coffee grounds, mostly racetrack dirt. And of course the hills are made of pieces of foam with dirt piled up over them and glued down. The foam was wood glued to the plywood first so it would stay put, and it seems to be pretty good. Back there's probably the highest one, and here's a high one, and then this one's a little bit high in places, along with a tiny one right here, which I made like a red color. I forget what it is, chili powder or something, but these are all out of date food spices that my mom was going to throw away. And I said, no, I will take them out to the train shed. I've got an idea. I need cheap ground cover for my yard tracks because they won't be actually switching out anyway, except every now and then. And here you go. And this was in an old industrial building that had fell down or they tore down, and the railroad kept their sidings. And I had just redid this tonight. I put a dirt crossing in for maintenance and EMS fire vehicles in case they would ever have to get over into the yard, as well as maintenance vehicles of the railroad or even police vehicles could go across there if they had to. I just redid this and piled it up, make it look like more growth, different colors. But that's basically Prestonburg Yard. The runaround yard track will come out of that tunnel, come around. Of course, the switches for those two sidings. This right here will be Prestonburg Crossing. The hiking and biking tunnel and campsite on the other side will be called Prestonburg Mountain Rail Trail and Campsite. Campsite ain't written on that card, but that's what it will be. Prestonburg Mountain Rail Trail and Campsite for our bikers and hikers and whoever else wants to hang out. Here's the other yard lead tunnel, runaround track tunnel. Nothing really changed on the mountain, maybe a little more ground cover here and there. This will be the Prestonburg Tunnel. And as you can see back in there, it goes across two bridges. And over here on the back side, you'll have the camping area, which is kind of dark. Let me see if I can grab my light. Uh-oh. I ain't grabbing that light. That light's dead. Let me see. Where did I put my other light? Here we go. Right there is the Prestonburg Mountain Rail Trail campsite. I put dirt and all that in. Behind the mountain, this will be a control panel for those 4 switches. and probably any switches that's up on the passenger level up above. I plaster clothed this spot, put foam in, plaster clothed, paint it, put some dirt around it so it wouldn't be so plain looking at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to put rock or trees or something like that in there. I haven't really decided. I'm still thinking on how I really want to break the yard track and this main line up. But it's going to be there, the camping people's scenic area. So whatever goes in there is what they're going to spend the night looking at, why they enjoy camping and so forth. And being that this is a small area, guys, it don't look very big, but it's going to work for where this is at. Back here, of course, I've probably shown this in a few past videos. It'll come off that switch where we just was, come across the crossing to the first switch, second switch, third, fourth switch, and the sidings. And this was something I threw together in a night, had it all painted up in the same night, glued it, so forth, and put a little styrofoam piece on the roof as an air conditioner, and I think it looks pretty good for just having a background building back here with some warehouse doors, people doors, an office door. Of course, it don't have no windows for the office, but it's a warehouse, so I'm going with it like it is. And it's just sitting in there, and you can see that the building, I modified it already. The other night, I had to cut some of it away to make it flush. So I cut the bad piece out and put another piece in, glued it together, and there it is. They painted it or came in with blacktop coating and redid that part of the building where it was falling apart, and they repaired it. So now everything clears. My cars was hitting. That's the reason I did that. But now the car's clear the whole way back. And you can see my bumpers that I will light up with a red light on each one of them. An LED. That's what these straws right here are for, going through the foam, down through the plywood. I can actually run wires down in there if I want to, and put LED lights up there to make it look like they still work from when this was an industrial building up there. So yeah, it looks pretty good down through there. And I mentioned the road right there. Basically, that's about it. The building will be named Tropicana of Prestonsburg. So even though it's blue My favorite color is blue, as you all, some of you might know. I'm always mentioning blue on a live chat or something somewhere. Well, I painted this building blue. It don't really matter what color it is, I guess. But that's what it's for. It's for the Tropicana of Prestonsburg, for my Tropicana cars to go in there. This track here would be like a secondary holding track for more or other types of cars. Like I said, I'm not going to do a lot of switch operating in my yard areas. The only yard that'll be busy is the one that's back in this mess somewhere hid, where there'll be 6, possibly 7 or 8 trains parked. And I'll pull one out at a time. And it's going to be kind of hard to explain it on the video, because I can't get up there and really try to explain it. But I'll pull one out, and it can have constant running. Or when I get the new Abigail Brook Bay Bridge, which Abigail Brook is my 12-year-old daughter. I named this bottom level after her, because there'll be a yard on a shelf out here that's already built. It's just not here right now in place. It'll be called the Abbey Yard, or also known as the Abigail Yard. So once the Abigail Brook Bay Bridge is in, and there'll also be an Abigail Junction down here. But when the new Abigail Brook Bay Bridge goes in, it'll go across to there, go off onto the track, which is hid underneath stuff right here, go off on a switch, go around, and it'll either go back there and you can bypass the yard, or you can switch over on the double slip switch to go into the yard track, which is this track. Excuse me, guys. Right here, this is the yard lead. This is the main. It's piled up. I know. I'm sorry about that. But it'll go around into the yard. There'll be a couple car storage tracks. There'll be train storage tracks where I'll pull my trains in and stop them and pull another one out and so forth. But I'm getting it figured up how I can have one constantly running down here with or without the bridge in. There's a switchback. I don't know if I can get it to focus. The switch is covered up. I'm sorry, guys, for the shakiness. But there's a switchback in there that I will be able to switch and still have constant running across here under my dad's desk and back there. Or I can switch that switch back in here to come across the Abigail Brook Bay Bridge and go that way just to have another route. But it'll go and you can bypass the yard, go up the incline back in the back, which is through all this mess. Let me see if I can zoom in. Right there, you can see the tall part of it. And it comes up aboard onto the same level that I've been working on. It's just back there. But it will come all the way into Prestonburg, where all this is located. So I'll be able to have constant operations with or without lift out bridges. There'll be another lift out bridge going across here, a shorter one, to where my dad's transformers are right there, to here. That'll be a lift out bridge also. My desk, top of my desk, will be hot rod scrap and recycling. But I'll be able to come across here on the 8-inch wide extension right here, go through this tunnel, cross those two bridges, go around, and when it coming whatever direction, it can switch. It'll go across that track where that car is right there in a future tunnel. And it'll go back there across the bridge, circle around to the right, come back in to a switch onto the main line, and it'll either go across the Y switch back down the decline, or it can go across the Y switch to the left and come back to Prestonburg and be a constant operation. I'm hoping all I have to do is shut or have different stuff insulated or isolated, whichever way you want to put it. I'll have a constant operation of one train up here on the second level right here. I'll have a constant operation of a train down on the main level where this train comes from. There'll be another train here running, and when I switch the switches, the lost my train of thought, guys. Come off of the Y switch back there and go to the right onto the left hand switch to go back down the incline. When that switch switches, it'll switch Atlas relay, snap relay, that will switch my priority automatically. So I won't have all that to worry about. All I have to do is snap the switches. It'll snap the snap relay also at the same time, and it'll change my priority, and the train will come down and come back on the main level, and it can come down and come around under the desk this way, or it can come, or no, I'm wrong. There's no way to get on this track yet until you come across the crossing, cross the junction, or cross the back, then up here across one of the junctions, and there's reverse tracks. There's a reverse loop inside a reverse loop there, guys, but it reverses it back the opposite way. That's the way I got it set up. I've got two reverse loops inside one another, basically. but I had to have both in order to make the train come back and switch back to the normal direction that it first was in. But this video is getting kind of long. I'm just rambling. But that's going to give you a little bit of a clue what is happening. It's a lot of work ahead of me. I realize that, but I've been doing this stuff since I was a kid. I've been through three different layouts in my lifetime already, and I want to get this one. This is probably going to be my last layout I probably ever get to do in my lifetime, because this thing is big, and I don't want to ever happen to start over. A lot of us don't, but you don't know what's actually going to happen in the future. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video. That gives you a little bit of an idea. There will also be a reverse loop back there in front of the incline decline. And what that's probably going to basically do is just reverse stuff back there, or reverse it. I originally wanted that back there because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep all these switches out front here. But anyway, I'm just rambling. This video is already up to 26 or 27 minutes. So I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching. Till the next video, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, comment down below, ding the bell for further or future new notifications on new videos. And Hot Rod Rodney 25 out.